Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back just a quick market update today. There hasn't been too much happening over the weekend. I've got a few news stories for you. Just going to have a little look at TA, some price analysis, people asking if this is the bottom. To be honest guys, it's still completely the same answer. No one knows. Some of the news stories we're going to talk about today may suggest further downside in regards to like collapses in hedge funds or like other companies that are under pressure. We have the wider economy that has problems, but as you can see, the DXY is actually still on its way to rolling over. It does need to lose this level here at 103, but is, as I said, on its way to rolling over. We also have a bearish divergence here in the RSI, meaning that we've set higher highs but lower highs on the strength of the RSI. I'll show you that. So this is on the daily time frame, guys. So if you look here, the strength on the RSI is actually getting lower, but the price went higher. This normally leads to a fall in price action. So there is that. That's looking positive, positive-ish for crypto at least. But for actual price action of crypto, it's not looking great, let's be honest. There was a inverted head and shoulders here on the 4-hourly for Bitcoin, but it wasn't really confirmed because the breakout needs to be confirmed by high volume. We did have that, so there's a shoulder, head, shoulder. It's the same on the, I'll show you in a minute, on the total market cap for crypto. We had that breakout, but it needed to be confirmed with high volume. I'd look to the push up. It would be the distance from the top of the head to the neckline of the breakout with big volume. That would have been confirmed. But so maybe we come back and back test this neckline for Bitcoin down at 20,249. Or in and around this range. Like, we're just basically chopping, guys, let's be completely honest. We could come down and double bottom for a test of the bottom here. Honestly, we also could reverse and push up towards a 200-day moving average. There's not a lot of TA that suggests either way in a strong sense right now. So they're just the things to keep your eye on. As I said, the DXY, we've been keeping our eye quite close on oil. The oil's basically doing the same sort of thing. It looks to have found at least a temporary bottom, but it's rejecting the moving averages on the 4-hourly. Let's have a look on the hourly, a bit closer time frame. It's just broke above on the hourly, but obviously, look, it can't seem to get much of a push out of there. And on the daily for oil, we have just reclaimed the 50-day moving average if the daily candle closes where it is right now. So, guys, it's just if buts and maybe still. The Dow Jones and the S&P, they're just sort of hanging out and they're really close to their recent lows. Look, not managed to get anywhere near above where we were from the drop. We're still right now 14.8% down, and look how it falls in like a zigzaggy sort of motion. Could we be looking? I think we may push up to this resistance level here, which is where the initial drop came in the bounce. Maybe bounce our heads off the moving averages and then maybe head down. That's the sort of pattern that it looks like could be. But one thing that I do take into consideration is that everyone in the world is calling for short positions and buying puts and basically going short on the stock market. Do most people normally get it right? The answer, in my opinion, is no. So that's one thing that really is giving me hope. And if that is the only thing, then yeah, obviously we're in trouble. But it's definitely something to take into consideration. So we'll just get onto the news now because there's not really too much going on extra here. I did point out a bullish pennant here on the hourly at the of XRP. I said XRP on the hourly is forming a bullish pennant. This gives us 54% chance of breaking to the upside with the breakout target of 42 cents. Obviously, it's broken to the downside, so you'd have probably where it formed the flagpole is where you'd be looking for the completion of the downside break. So it'd be in and around that 34-ish, 33.5 cent sort of level is probably where you're looking for a completion of that move. This I thought was pretty almost comical, guys, almost comical. So the I'll read out what he said and then I'll give you my opinion. So the Ripple defendants have filed a letter opposing the SEC's continued efforts to seal a response to Amber Key regarding the SEC's expert, stating that the SEC's argument are on their face about shielding the SEC from public criticism. Basically, Ripple have read the SEC's defense, the protection of Patrick Doody. The SEC don't want it to be released to the public because basically they think that the public will criticize them. So let's see what happens here. But like, surely if you're getting criticized by the public, then you're doing something wrong. If you're representing the public, in my opinion, I don't know. Like, it's just getting to be a bit of a farce at the minute. I don't know what happens in American law or when these sorts of things will get sorted, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's a little bit of an update from the case. We're still waiting for the big one, which is the Hinman emails. That's the biggest thing that we're waiting for right now. And obviously the judge's decision on this amicus brief as well. That's where we will be able to read Patrick Doody's opinion on XRP as an XRP specialist. We've got this. Crypto Fund 3 Arrows Capital facing potential insolvency. After liquidations worth 400 million, 3 Arrows Capital is reportedly working on an arrangement with lenders and other parties. And they've had a debt letter today saying basically you're going to default on your debt if you don't do something about it. So this is one of the things that I've been talking about that definitely could take the crypto market down further. If we start to see capitulation in these, like who's tied to 3 Arrows Capital, again, we don't know. So there's that. Going away from crypto, actually we'll go for one more crypto story here and then the last little one. So John Deaton, unpopular tweet, because the executive order in the Loomis bill minimised the SEC's role, many believe the likelihood that SEC, Gary Gensler, will settle with Ripple. He said, it's logical to take a win while you can, but he said it could have the opposite effect. They could roll the dice and say, see, we were right. Like if they've got nothing to lose, if they're losing power anyway, maybe they do, maybe they don't take the case. Who knows? Only Gary Gensler and the SEC know at this point. Maybe there's higher powers pulling strings, but it's not something that I really put too much weight on because I can't prove that, so I can only work with what I can prove. So I hope that's not the case. I would have thought they would settle, in my opinion. It's better for both parties, especially if Gary Gensler can get a win under his belt at the biggest potential crypto case in the world. So yeah, finally this. What this means in terms of long term, we don't know. But Russia's debt default, they've basically defaulted on some sovereign debt today. It's about 400 million's worth of interest is what I heard. It says 100 million here. Okay, so it's 100 million here and a 30-day grace period. But I read in an article this morning that it was 400 million. Basically, what they're saying is that they have the money to pay it, but they don't want to pay it in dollars, and they want to pay it in rubles. And we're basically like, well, the debt was in dollars or whatever it was in the first place, so you need to pay it in that. And they're like, well, basically you've sanctioned our dollar account, so how can we do it? We can't do that. So let's see what plays out here, guys. Obviously there's a lot to watch out for in the wider economy. That's why everyone's so bearish right now. I just feel like there are a lot of things that could change pretty quick. If oil comes down, the Fed pivot, all those things would happen in a short space of time. Property's taken a massive retracement so far in America this month. We've also got to keep our eye on, it's the end of the quarter, end of quarter two. Are we going to see some rebalancing? Is this week going to be quite volatile? All these sort of questions are things to keep your eye on, guys. And to say rebalancing, I'll talk about hedge funds specifically. They may be buying, they may be selling. Who knows? They might have cash on their balance sheet, of which they need to apply to the market in regards to their risk management, or they may have to offload different stocks as well. So let's see what happens this week. I'll keep you updated as to any new information that we get, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon. If you enjoyed it, please hit me with a subscribe, the notification bell on so you know when I make a video, and drop a comment. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and hit a like as well. Thank you very much. Peace up, A-Town down, as Usher would say.